Key 1. Stoic, the way we choose to think about life has the power to completely transform it. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us time and time again that while we may not have control over the world, we do have control over how we perceive it. And that is the essence of Stoicism, a philosophy that trains the mind to shift perspectives, helping us navigate life with wisdom and resilience. Many believe that wealth and abundance lead to happiness. But as Seneca observed, poverty is not just about lacking material things. He met the richest men of his time, those with unimaginable wealth, yet they still felt poor. Why? Because they were trapped in the endless cycle of comparison. They always saw someone with more, and that made them feel like they had less. This lesson is vital. If we're constantly chasing more, believing it will finally bring us peace, we will never feel satisfied. The key is to recognize when we have enough, to break free from the illusion that external success will complete us. Marcus Aurelius also teaches us that our thoughts shape our reality. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind, he wrote. If you constantly seek out negativity, that's all you'll see. But if you search for beauty, gratitude, and kindness, those things will become your reality. Even when surrounded by difficult people, Marcus chose to view them with compassion, understanding that their flaws came from ignorance, not malice. This shift in perspective gave him peace. Another common struggle is anxiety. Marcus himself once wrote, "Today, I escaped my anxiety. No, I discarded it because it was within me." This is a crucial realization. Anxiety isn't something caused by the outside world. It is something we create within ourselves. The airport doesn't stress you out. Your expectations do. Your parents aren't frustrating. You're choosing to react with frustration. Recognizing this truth is liberating because it means we have the power to let go of these emotions whenever we choose. And finally, one of the most powerful lessons I learned was from Robert Greene, who asked me a simple but profound question. Will this be a live time or dead time for you? Will you let the next year slip by, waiting for the right moment? Or will you use every second to grow, learn, and improve? This is a choice we all have to make, not just once, but every single day. By embracing these Stoic mindsets, we unlock the freedom to live fully, to face challenges with strength, and to find peace, not in what happens to us, but in how we choose to respond. Key 1. Stoic, the power of time, preparation, and letting go of legacy. The year I decided to step away from my job turned out to be one of the most productive years of my life. In fact, it was a year that brought me lasting relationships, profound insights, and personal growth. But what stands out the most from that experience was the powerful realization of what I call a live time versus dead time, and just how crucial it is to make every moment count. Think about it. When you're stuck in traffic, how are you using that time? Is it a live time where you're learning, growing, or doing something productive? Or is it dead time where you're simply passing the minutes, complaining about the situation? Or when you're at the airport, waiting for your flight, do you simply sit idly, scrolling through your phone or waiting for the pizza you ordered? Or do you use those moments to walk around the terminal, listen to a podcast, make that phone call you've been avoiding, or even jot down ideas for that article or book you've always wanted to write? The question is simple but profound. How do you use time when you're not fully in control of your situation? This question can shape your life in ways you may not have considered before. It's all about making the most of every opportunity, no matter how small, to push your life forward, whether that means learning something new or making progress on something that matters to you. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is premeditatio malorum, anticipating potential problems and preparing for adversity. It's about facing the tough situations we often avoid thinking about. Life is filled with unpredictability, and it's essential to be ready for it. One thing I've learned is that when we're caught off guard, it's not usually because of the obvious challenges, but because of the ones we refuse to mentally prepare for. That's when life can hit the hardest. Another key Stoic lesson is about the fleeting nature of fame and legacy. Marcus Aurelius, despite being a highly influential emperor, recognized that even his great deeds would eventually fade. In Meditations, he reflects on how past emperors and conquerors, whose names were once revered, are now forgotten. Alexander the Great, for instance, may have had cities named after him, but Marcus reminds us that even his legacy doesn't escape the inevitability of time. No matter how grand your achievements, they too will one day be lost to history. Marcus also recognized that we cannot rely on future generations to validate our actions. This is a hard truth. Even if the future remembers you or your deeds, you won't be around to appreciate it. So, why wait to do what's right? Why defer moments with your family, your health, or your passions just to build a legacy for future generations? The truth is that legacy won't matter much if you're not present for the journey today. This brings me to an important insight. Stop postponing the life you want. Stop waiting for the future to make things right. Take action now, for the only time you truly have is the present. As the Stoics teach, we cannot control the world around us, but we can control our reactions and how we choose to spend our time. Seneca's wisdom about life's inevitable challenges also resonates deeply. He said that the hardest blows we face often come from what we haven't anticipated. Life has its taxes, delays, obstacles, and responsibilities that we can't avoid, but we can learn to handle them with grace. The more success we achieve, the more these taxes come with the territory, but they're a part of the natural order. Instead of fighting them, we accept them, mitigate them as best we can, and move forward. When we view challenges as simply another part of the journey, we learn to navigate them with wisdom and composure. A lesson from Epictetus stands out here as well. It's impossible to learn that which you think you already know. This is something I've experienced firsthand. When I'm around experts or people who excel in areas where I still have room to grow, I have no hesitation in asking questions, no matter how basic they might seem. I've learned that the desire to improve often means being willing to look foolish. It's the uncomfortable process of learning that opens the door to progress. True growth doesn't happen if you're afraid to be embarrassed or to feel awkward. To improve, you must be willing to take risks, to look imperfect, and to keep striving for better, even when it feels uncomfortable. It's this courage to be vulnerable, to ask questions, and to challenge what we think we already know that propels us forward. And in doing so, we unlock our potential to grow, not just in our careers, but in every area of life. In the end, it's not the grand legacies or the pursuit of fame that truly matter, but the daily choices we make with our time, our actions, and our mindset. The key to living a meaningful life is to be present, to embrace challenges, and to do what's right for its own sake, not for the hope of future rewards or recognition. Live fully now, because the only thing you truly control is what you do with today. Key 1. Stoic, ever had that moment when you feel like a total idiot? Maybe you're about to ask a dumb question, or you make a mistake, and you can almost hear the judgment coming from the world around you. But here's the thing. Don't be afraid to ask those dumb questions. In fact, don't be afraid to look foolish, period. It's all part of growth. And honestly, people are often way more critical than they need to be. It's just the way it is. And when you really take a step back, you'll see that this is something Marcus Aurelius talks about frequently in his Meditations. He begins the book with a kind of catalog of people you're likely to encounter throughout your day. Frustrating people, jealous people, selfish people, dishonest people, aggressive people. It's a fact of life. These individuals exist. They'll be in your path. But here's the crucial part. Marcus doesn't say to get rid of them. He doesn't suggest cutting them out of your life or giving up on humanity. Instead, he sees these people as opportunities to practice virtue. The obstacle, he says, is the way. It's an incredible mindset. When we encounter someone difficult, instead of reacting with anger or frustration, we have the chance to respond with patience, kindness, or understanding. The impediment can be our path forward as it challenges us to rise to the occasion. This isn't just some feel-good philosophy. It's a practical approach to navigating daily life and its inevitable hurdles. Now, here's a powerful idea from Stoic thought that many people overlook. You have a superpower, and it's the ability to choose how you respond to things. Marcus says that you don't have to form an opinion about everything. The world doesn't need to be labeled as good or bad, fair or unfair. You don't have to judge it at all. Just see things for what they are. This is the path to peace. When you stop putting unnecessary labels on everything around you, you stop wasting your time on things that don't deserve your energy. This mindset also frees you up to take action. As Epictetus said, every situation has two handles, one that will bear weight and another that won't. The question is, which handle will you choose? Will you see a setback as a problem, or will you see it as an opportunity to grow? Life is full of perspectives. We can choose to look at any situation as an obstacle or as an opportunity. We can see a challenging moment as chaos, or we can choose to look at it as part of the larger, hidden order of things. The Stoics believe that every moment, whether good or bad, is an opportunity for us to act with virtue and rise to the challenge. But here's something else the Stoics teach us. They aren't emotionless. People often misinterpret their teachings as cold or unfeeling, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Seneca's letters, for instance, are some of his most profound writings. He's often writing to friends, even family members, who are grieving the loss of loved ones. In these letters, Seneca offers deep, compassionate insights into how to process grief. He tells one grieving daughter that her father, who loved her dearly, wouldn't want her to be consumed by sorrow. Instead, he would want her to remember the good times, to be happy for having had him in her life, rather than letting his death dominate her every thought. That's not about denying grief. It's about seeing the situation from a different perspective. It's about remembering the love, the joy, and the good memories instead of being stuck in the sadness of loss. The Stoics understood that grief is a part of life, but they also knew that dwelling in despair doesn't honor the memory of those we've lost. Seneca's wisdom here touches on a life-changing concept. Death isn't just a distant event that happens once at the end of life. It's happening all the time. Every second, every minute, you're living in the shadow of death. And that realization, understanding that time is always slipping away, makes us realize just how precious every moment truly is. It's a powerful reminder to embrace life fully, to make the most of every day, and to not waste a single second, because once it's gone forever. So, when you're facing difficulties or feeling overwhelmed by life, remember this. You have the ability to choose your perspective. You can either let obstacles defeat you, or you can turn them into stepping stones for growth. Embrace the challenge. Look for the opportunity in every situation, and choose to live in a way that honors the limited time you have. By doing this, you not only step into a space of inner peace and resilience, but you also unlock a sense of purpose that will carry you through the toughest of times. The Stoics didn't just teach us how to endure, they taught us how to thrive, no matter what life throws our way.